150 points you earn. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Murray to Jokic. Quick pass out to the wing. Here's the drive by Harris. Finger rolls it in. Denver grabs the lead. Frank Vogel calls for time.
He doesn't know what's happening. Denver's running. They had the Lakers back on their heels. Gary Harris finally got a finish right there. I like what Denver's doing right now. They are clearly more the aggressors so far.
I'm Pat O'Keefe. Denver shoots 60% in the first quarter, a 29-27 lead over the Lakers in Game 3. Second quarter about to begin, along with P.J. Carlissimo and Doris Burke. Let's send it back to Mark Hestisher.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. And Doris, we left to break talking about Nikola Jokic. 11 points, aggressive tone, playing all 12 minutes of the first quarter.
And he's sprinkling in every aspect he has in his arsenal, right? He's made a three. He's gone onto the low block on the left-hand side. He's used his incredible footwork to get past defensive players. And one of the things I like best, PJ, about their first quarter, 10 assists on 12 baskets, and they're playing with force and they're playing with pace.
No question, they're attacking the rim. They are 9 for 10 inside. They are going at the Lakers.
Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Mason Plumlee on the floor for the first time with Torrey Craig and Michael Porter Jr. Denver in the black jerseys from right to left. Morris will cut across the top against Rajon Rondo. A 2-point Denver lead. Goes to Murray, cuts down the lane, jump stop. Now wheels, ducks in, had it blocked. Oh, a foul called as Markieff Morris into the game for the first time gets a piece of Jamal Murray.
It looked clean on the first look. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Murray gets the step. I thought that the ball was blocked clean on the left hand of Morris. Maybe a little bit on his head, PJ.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was a foul. And Markieff's telling Frank Vogel, challenge you. Frank's looking up and saying, boy, it's awful early. I think I'm going to hang on to my challenge. He agrees with Markieff. And I think nobody knows better than Mark Davis that he may have anticipated that contact.
First free throw for Jamal Murray is good. We gave you the Denver lineup out there for the Lakers. Rondo, Markieff Morris, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso for the Lakers.
Oh, LBJ already. Tested 6 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal.
PJ, he scored or assisted on 18 of the Lakers' 27 first quarter points.
Unbelievable. I mean, kind of quietly.
Jamal Murray, 2 free throws. Denver leads 31-27. Lakers attack here early in the second. It's Rondo on the drive, flips it high off the glass, no good. Falling down, Porter with the rebound, able to get it out to Murray. Murray, as he runs into Rondo, lost the ball, lost it out across the far side. Rondo fell down hard, goes out of bounds to the Lakers on a Denver turnover.
Wow, that was a heck of a collision, and the ball squirted loose. Jamal Murray saying he was fouled. I think Mark Davis is saying you initiated the contact.
Alex Caruso for the Lakers, who are down 4, dribbling to his left. Passes to James on the cut, off his fingertips, turnover to Denver. Murray across half court. Murray slings it to the right side, Porter. Porter squares and connects on a 3 over LeBron James.
I thought he was open when he first caught it. He waited. Now LeBron's guarding him, and he still makes the shot.
7-point Denver lead, their largest of game 3. Rondo drives, but his pass to the wing stolen by Jamal Murray. Fires down floor to Morris. Checks his feet for 3, shoots a miss. Wide open offensive board and a miss, but a retip goes in for Michael Porter Jr.
So how about this timeout, Frank Vogel? On those contested shots by Michael Porter Jr. in the playoffs, he's 11 for 28. He's north of 37%, Kesty. And this is a good timeout by Frank Vogel, getting away from him here.
A 9-0 run for the Nuggets. Timeout, 10:48 to go. Second quarter. Denver 36, the Lakers 27. And you're listening to the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
It's time for some straight talk. Here's a wireless equation to wrap your brain around. Big carriers plus fancy phone offers plus pricey contracts equals fail. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get a new phone payment plan with no fees, no contracts, and no deposits. For great Samsung phones starting at less than $7 a month. All on America's largest and most dependable networks for up to 50% less. Turn that brain power into money-saving power. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
You know that sound when a crowd of fans suddenly goes quiet? Your vote is your voice. 39% of eligible voters did not vote in the last presidential election. Raise your voice, sports fans. Visit IamAvoter.com.
The Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Walker for three is good.
The Celtics and Heat square off in Game 4 tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Presented by Indeed.
We rise together for this generation and the next. On the court and in the streets. For your city, for your team. For everything it took to get to this moment. Rise together. Because together, we can win it all.
The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on ESPN with Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics Heat at 8:30 Eastern. Presented by AT&T 5G. Rise together.
Coming up Wednesday, the Lakers look to get even closer to the NBA Finals as the Nuggets just look to get back in the series. Plus, how long before we're putting Patrick Mahomes in the same conversation as LeBron James? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Wednesday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
I'm Pat O'Keefe in studio. Back-to-back baskets for Michael Porter Jr. have given Denver a 9-point lead. Rise and grind with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin every weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. 10:48 to go, second quarter. Nuggets on top 36 to 27. Back to Kesty, PJ, and Doris.
All right, Pat, and the largest lead of the series for the Nuggets up 9, 36-27 early second quarter. And PJ, already 2 turnovers for the Lakers in this quarter.
Yeah, 6 for the game doesn't sound terrible, but how about 6 of them for 12 Denver points? Denver's doing what the Lakers do better than anybody in the league. They're cashing the turnovers. Points off turnovers are 12-4 in favor of the Nuggets.
They're also beating them in the paint +4, also beating them second chance +5. So it's little details that will matter to Denver over the course of this evening.
Coming out of this Lakers timeout, same 5 on the floor for Los Angeles. Kuzma, Rondo, Markieff Morris, Alex Caruso, and LeBron James with the 6 points and 5 assists. Lakers trail by 9, 36-27 Denver. 10:40 left here in the first half. Caruso has it right wing against Morris. Ball overhead, looking to pass. Now on the left thigh, puts it on the deck with 10 to shoot. One bounce gives to James on the wing. James fires for Caruso, wraps it around to the corner. Up top, Morris, a ball fake, drives the elbow, 3 to shoot. Gets deep, wraps it around to Caruso. Lost the handle, Denver has it, and a foul against Los Angeles.
They did a good job, the Denver Nuggets, running Markieff Morris off the three-point line. Then he got caught underneath. He actually made a decent pass, but it was to Alex Caruso underneath the basket. It kind of surprised him. Then he coughed it up and lost the ball. Another turnover.
He's bigger and more physical. And you're that close to the rim, just put it up soft.
Yep.
Caruso's second foul, third turnover the second quarter for the Lakers. Denver can take a double-digit lead here. Jamal Murray at the top, 10:15 to go in the half. Give and go gets messed up with Mason Plumlee. Turnover to the Lakers. Caruso gives to LeBron. LeBron across midcourt. Going to bully his way down to the baseline. Torrey Craig defending. Now circles around Craig. Goes deep and flushes with a right hand. When in doubt, go to James. Go hard to the rim. LeBron's got 8.
Torrey Craig cut him off the first time when he tried to drive from the top. LeBron kind of backed into the corner and said, let's try it again, and went right by him for the dunk. Alex Caruso, by the way, Kesty, got the turnover back by stealing the ball in the last possession.
36-29, Nuggets who have it. Murray and Caruso on his back, waits and fires a 3 from on high.
He really has not had a ton of success against Alex Caruso. He does such a good job, Caruso, chasing him, but good patience there.
Lead now is 10. Markieff Morris down the lane against Plumlee, who defended him well, missed it, rebounded by Denver. Down floor to Morris on the right side. Dribbles toward the right corner against Kuzma. Now pops to the top. Little 20-footer is in. Monte Morris. Denver Nuggets continue to hit stride with a 12-point lead. 41-29. Kuzma from the right into the corner. Caruso. Quick trigger 3 in and out. Rebounded by Denver. Outlet Morris on the far right side. Front court. Rondo picks him up. Now blows by Rondo to the baseline. Nothing doing. Sends it to the left to Porter. 9 minutes to go in the half. A 41-29 Nugget lead. Pass to Morris, open for three. Triggers the triple and knocks it down. The Denver Nuggets have a 15-point lead in the first half of Game 3 and a Laker timeout.
They're doing exactly what we thought was the key for the Nuggets. The complementary players, and I hope they don't mind that term, are stepping up. Everybody's participating on the offensive end. And the Los Angeles Lakers doors are a step slow with their rotations.
That's exactly right. That's led to 5 for 10 3-point shooting by the Denver Nuggets. Open shots, Kesty.
17-2 run for the Nuggets dating to the latter stages of the first quarter. And with 8:53 to go in the first half, Nuggets 44 and the Lakers 29. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for a table at a restaurant.
Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, oh, there you are.
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wish you could catch up on the NBA playoff race in 30 minutes or less? The NBA Daily Ding is your quick, comprehensive daily rundown of the NBA.
Just keeps it again against Forbes. He'll shoot a deep three. Hit it!
Let the Athletics team of NBA experts fill you in on everything you need to know to start your day.
It was actually 1 for 22, and it was just all free throws. There we go. That makes sense. But yes, now let's
Search NBA Daily Ding on TuneIn to listen.
If you love public radio, you know that there's so much more than one kind of NPR station. While some affiliates focus on news and talk, others specialize in playing some of the most original and refreshing music put on the airwaves. From national flagships like All Songs Considered and Tiny Desk concerts to beloved shows like Morning Becomes Eclectic from KCRW and WXPN's World Cafe. TuneIn has all the incredible stations, shows, and podcasts that make the NPR universe the most exciting place to hear and discover music. Search NPR Music to start listening.
Cooper Tires knows there's nothing better than found value. You know, when you discover something great that others overlook. Just like Billy Beane did for the Oakland A's. Like the Cardinals drafting Albert Pujols in the 13th round. Or the Dodgers finding Hall of Fame catcher Mike Piazza in the 62nd round. Championship talent is often found where you least expect it. So keep those baseball diamonds in the rough in mind when you're shopping for tires. Cooper Tires enthusiasts will tell you that their tires are the best bang for your buck. Don't be swayed by too much tire or come up short by buying too little. Coopers are just right. If you're worried about long road trips or even those short trips to visit family, their tires undergo rigorous testing and are backed by warranty, so you can trust that they'll last for thousands of miles. Cooper Tires pride themselves on good merchandise, fair play, and a square deal. Always have, always will. And remember, expensive doesn't mean better. Better means better. Go with the Coopers. Visit us.coopertire.com to learn more.
I'm Pat O'Keefe in studio. Just 5 NBA head coaching vacancies remain. Billy Donovan agrees to become the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. 5 seasons at Oklahoma City, 5 trips to the playoffs, a .608 winning percentage. Meanwhile, a 15-2 run to start the second for the Nuggets. They lead the Lakers by 15. Back to Kesty, PJ, and Doris.
All right, Pat, before we get back to the game, Doris, big news with the Chicago Bulls landing Billy Donovan.
Listen, I'm going to confess to complete and utter bias. He's my classmate, my fellow point guard.
Friars.
But I think a great hire.
Fantastic hire. What would you expect from a Seton Hall guy, Arturas Karnisovas?
We got all the alma maters.
Excellent decision.
I love it.
Right here, a 17-2 run by the Denver Nuggets in the last 3 minutes, 9 seconds. Frank Vogel out of the Lakers timeout. Lakers will have it left to right with 8:50 to go first half. Denver with its biggest lead of the series now at 15. Caruso will send it left side. LeBron James beyond the arc. Torrey Craig in the defensive position. Now off the switch, Plumlee guarding. Great pass down low to Green. A whistle as he put up a shot. No good. Danny Green will get to the line on the Michael Porter Jr. foul, his first. Michael Porter Jr. Doris, part of a Denver bench, really excelling here in Game 3.
14-5. He and Monte Morris are combined 6 of 7 from the floor, and the Denver Nuggets have made 11 of their last 13 field goals. It is time for the Los Angeles Lakers to turn it up a notch defensively.
without question. You described the passing. They're peppering the ball around. They're cutting with more force. And the Lakers are kind of back on their heels and really not offering a heck of a lot of resistance on the defensive end.
Danny Green's first free throw is good. Second one on its way. Short front rim, tipped in the air. And Denver can't control it off the fingertips of Torrey Craig out of bounds. Lakers will get another crack down 14.
That's one of those little details that Doris is talking about. You can't have that happen.
Caruso to inbound baseline left, lobs it in to LeBron James. Straddling the three-point line, back to the basket, backs down Torrey Craig. Double comes, LeBron backs out. Passes to Caruso, sends up a three off the rim. No, rebounded by Plumlee of Denver. Outlets at Jamal Murray at the 8:15 mark to go in the second quarter. Murray dribbles down to the right corner. LeBron James going to guard him. Murray dribbles up to the break on the three-point line. Keeps his dribble, crosses to the left. Pass intended for the wing. Alex Caruso knocks it out of bounds with 9 to shoot.
Bad offensive possession so far. Jamal Murray was just bouncing the ball for about 10 seconds. He's lucky he didn't turn it over on that penetration.
Usually Frank Vogel waits for Jokic to come in to send in Dwight Howard. Dwight's in now guarding Mason Plumlee. Inbound with 9 to shoot to Jamal Murray. Nuggets by 14. Wheels, fires for three off the top of the backboard. And out of bounds, a wild shot from Jamal Murray.
Just a bad possession, as PJ said. On the other end of things, one of the things they're doing selectively is when LeBron goes back to the basket and starts to nudge closer, the double comes. But when he backs it out, they get back out and cover ground. Like every little detail defensively on point right now for them.
There's James using a Howard screen. Fires right side to Danny Green. Drive to the elbow. Leans it from 14 to miss. Tipped in the air. Murray can't control, but Denver keeps it. Porter firing ahead. Down in the corner to Torrey Craig for three. No good. James has the easy rebound. 7:30 left here in the first half, and now Kane Fitzgerald, the official, whistling Plumlee in the backcourt as the Lakers were coming back up the floor. First on Mason Plumlee. Both teams at 2 team fouls here in the quarter, and the Lakers will inbound in the backcourt. 7:35 left in the half. Russo gets it into LeBron James. 4 of 6 shooting, 8 points. James using a high screen, drives, lobs at the rim. Dwight Howard right there to flush.
Play pick and roll, higher on the floor, let LeBron James get downhill, force a step up, lob to the rim, easy play.
I'll tell you what, that bad offensive possession, they come down the floor and get it too soon. I'm the one calling for the other players to step up, but Torrey Craig is not really a good three-point shooter. They're like 2 seconds into the clock. Following the previous possession was a bad possession. I think that's why Michael Malone went to his guys and go, guys, come on, we'll move the ball around. We're fine. We just had 2 possessions where we didn't do that back-to-back.
BJ and Doris's instant analysis brought to you by Farmers Insurance. With policy perks from Farmers Insurance, you can unlock discounts, save money, get added coverages, get a whole lot of something with Farmers policy perks by calling 1-800-FARMERS. And you pointed it out, Michael Malone wanted to stop any kind of momentum the Lakers can get. Obviously a big early lead, but early being the key factor here.
Well, again, he's happy with the way they're going, and I'm jumping on Torrey Craig. It was good transition. They were down, and he was wide open, but sometimes you're wide open for a reason.
That's exactly right. When you get the right shooters taking open shots, they had been 12 of 14 until that shot by Torrey Craig on open opportunities. But yeah, listen, when somebody's giving you that much of a cushion, there's a reason why you should make that next pass.
Michael Malone getting Nikola Jokic back on the floor out of the timeout. 7:25 to go here in the second quarter. Denver leads 44-32 over the Lakers. Monte Morris across the timeline. Danny Green, long arms defending. Morris stops the dribble, goes to Jokic out on the right, beyond the arc against Howard, and knocks it away. Out toward the near side, out of bounds. And they pointed toward Dwight Howard. And a technical foul has been assessed as Howard knocked it out of bounds.
I wonder, does this have anything to do with Dwight's decorum or lack thereof in the last game? Now, he did throw the ball high in the air, which is a little bit of a delay of game, PJ, but a quick.
Normally, it would be a delay of game warning, but again, Dwight is not only sporting a new do, but he's coming in with these refs having watched the first 2 games the same as we have. And they're saying, hey, we got to control this. before. He did a good job. He deflected the ball as Jamal Murray misses a free throw. You're talking one of the best free throw shooters in the NBA. Lets a point get away. Look at Dwight Howard, and wherever Jokic goes, Dwight Howard is pressed up against him, and the refs are going to be all over this watching.
Yeah, technical on Dwight Howard. He pressed up against him and talking, just constantly talking, trying to get under his skin. Jamal Murray has it. Nuggets lead at 44-32. Dribble handoff, Monte Morris. Passes it back to Murray. 3 to shoot. Murray out on the arc with half a second to shoot. He never saw the clock. Took a shot too late. Turnover on the shot clock violation.
That happened to Jamal Murray earlier, and I don't recall whether it was game 1 or game 2, but again, he had no recognition whatsoever, and the clock went off. That can't happen.
LeBron James lost the ball on a drive inside the arc. Here's Jeremy Grant the other way against Markieff Morris. A foul, shot missed. Grant will get to the line at 6:48 to go in the second. That's going to be foul number 2 on Markieff Morris.
Well, LeBron James is much more focused right now in the first half than he was in the second half. But even for the playoffs, as great as he's been playing, if there's one criticism, he's got too many turnovers. He's got the ball a lot, and he gets a ton of assists. I understand that. And when you have the ball in your hand that much, you're going to turn it over. But some of LeBron's turnovers are really surprising for arguably the best player on the planet.
4.6 in the playoffs overall, and 4.5 in this series. And that one was not a passive turnover. A lot of his second half turnovers in game 2 were passive turnovers. That's just you're trying to split 2 defenders with a very, very tight window.
LeBron heads out, AD heads in. Jeremy Grant hits 2 free throws. Denver 47, and the Los Angeles Lakers 32. Make it 46-32 in favor of Denver. Out on the left wing, Rondo will find Anthony Davis. Straddling that three-point line, gives it back to Rondo on the left. Drives, passes to the right side, Green. Now they sling it over to Rondo again, left wing with 4 to shoot. Rondo a drive, bounce pass to Caruso, tried to tip it up in the air, a shot toward the rim. It was on top of the backboard and out of bounds.
It's twice now. Teammates have delivered the ball to Caruso in a tough position around the rim with multiple bodies. Just a bad possession.
And no time on the clock. There was nothing. He had to invent a shot. You started that possession by saying Rondo will find Anthony Davis. He's going to find Anthony Davis in the next couple minutes, I guarantee you, because that's going to be his #1 priority.
Found Anthony Davis at the horn for a game-winning 3 Sunday night. Michael Porter Jr. at the free throw line, and Caruso picks his pocket. Alex down the other end of the floor. Layup is missed. Howard's tip no good. Loose ball foul. Denver with 6:09 left in the half.
Caruso 0 for 4. And twice it's been because of tough passes from his teammates. That's a situation where, we're being critical of the Denver Nuggets not making easy plays. That's a layup. Caruso's got to finish that.
No question. And Dwight Howard, to give him his due, really active on the glass again.
Foul win against Porter Jr. That is the 3rd team foul against Denver. This will be side in for the Lakers. 6:09 to go in the half. Lakers have it, attacking the basket to our right with Rondo up at the left hash. Davis was going to set a screen, now receives the pass at the dotted line, sends it to Green, right corner 3, pops in and out, rebounded by Morris.
Lakers just 2 for 10 from 3.
Here's Morris driving hard, other end of the floor, off the window and in against Danny Green.
Monte Morris has been very productive, very solid for Michael Malone.
16-point Nugget lead, 48-32, 5.5 left. Second quarter, game 3. Rondo stops the dribble, feeds Green in the corner, turns, wheels. Another 3-point shot that pops in and out. Down floor, Jokic hits Grant. Drives against Davis in the lane, flips it up. No, whistle called against the Lakers at 5:26 to go here in the half.
The aggressive team is getting the calls. That's often the way it is. There's no question which team is more aggressive, and they're being awarded for the force with which they're playing. It's the Denver Nuggets.
Danny Green has the foul against him, and the Los Angeles Lakers here in quarter number 2, 6.5 minutes in, have 5 points on the board as they trail 48-32.
And I've got to be honest with you, Danny Green has had a couple of open corner threes created off attention given to Davis or LeBron James. He's not made it. let's think about something. First two games, the Lakers have had an advantage from the three-point line. In fact, in game two, they were plus 15 from the three-point line. Tonight, 2 for 11, coming back to earth a little bit.
2 free throws. Jeremy Grant hits them both. Denver 50, the Lakers 32, an 18-point lead for the Nuggets here in the first half. Anthony Davis to the baseline, a foul and one. Let fly on a floater from the baseline after the contact, and AD a chance for three.
Really strong, aggressive move by AD. And Kesty, just to put a cap on what you were talking about, don't forget, what are they, 7 points now this quarter? Whatever it is, it's not a good number. This is following 23 in the fourth quarter and 22 in the third quarter of our game on Sunday. So they've been struggling offensively against the Nuggets lately, despite the fact that they found a way to win that game.
And there's a consistent theme to why, to me. They're not playing as much in transition. They're forcing them to execute in the half court. And the Lakers are a far less dangerous team trying to execute in that situation.
Anthony Davis at the line, completes a three-point play, 50-35, Nuggets leading, 5:15 to go here in the first half. Meanwhile, Denver will bring it up quickly. Nikola Jokic between the rings. Left side, they go to Gary Harris. 2 dribbles. Back to Jokic. 7-footer dribbles left. Dribble handoff. Morris got tangled up. Got knocked down a whistle by KCP. And in the act, is that the question here?
No, I think they're in the bonus either way.
Ah, gotcha. That was number 5. Thank you. I saw Morris go down, and I thought he was grabbing toward his ankle. Remember, he rolled his ankle in the fourth quarter in the last game, but he appears all right as he gets up, headed to the line, and before he shoots the free throws. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Mark Estisher, Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo. Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Monte Morris with a couple of free throws. Denver 52, Lakers 35. 5 minutes to go in the first half. Lakers going left to right with Rondo at the top. Anthony Davis sets a screen. Rondo goes to his left. Finds Davis, tip of the circle. Drives down the post, gets deep, missed the layup. Loose ball foul called. And it looks like that's going against Denver as Dwight Howard was fighting for that rebound.
I mean, another situation where this should be an and one. Another layup, an easy opportunity for Anthony Davis. Takes the contact. Listen, he's going to get to the foul line, but this should be a 3-point opportunity, not 2 free throws.
It's the force that both these coaches, Frank Vogel and Michael Malone, have talked to us about. They've both repeatedly said whichever team is more physical. Frank's been saying it since back in September when he started. He wanted to remake the Lakers into the most physical team in the league. The most physical team in this game so far has been the Denver Nuggets.
Anthony Davis, the first Laker to reach double figures. First free throw gives him 11. Another one coming on its way and good. 2 more free throws for Anthony Davis, who's 6 of 7 at the line. Lakers within 15.
We're going to see a lot of Anthony Davis on offense these final 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
52-37, Denver Nuggets with it. Morris to Jokic on the right. Out beyond the arc against Dwight Howard. Slings it in the corner. Morris is open, gets off a 3 and knocks it home.
2 go to the ball, and the pass is a hook pass by a former water polo player Jokic.
4:22 left in the half. The lead back to 18. 55-37 Denver. Rondo out to the left. Now accelerates, passes back to Davis. Had to corral it. Puts it up from 8. Falling away. Hits Anthony Davis with 14.
Rajon Rondo is looking for one player every time down the court.
AD's his name, and he's got 14 to lead the Lakers. Jokic. Pass intended for the corner, intercepted by Anthony Davis. Down the floor, Green. Back to Rondo on the arc. Rondo will hold as Denver gets their defense set. And now a pass for AD gets knocked out of bounds as Jokic came over to defend and clipped AD. No whistle on that contact, but it'll be Laker ball as Morris checks out of the game. Jamal Murray coming in at 3:48 to go in the half.
Really good minutes for Monte Morris.
Morris and Porter are 8 for 9 off the bench from the field. Rondo gets it in. Lakers have it, trailing 55-39. Rondo out on the left, dribbling inside against Millsap. Finds AD wide open from 20, buries it. 16 for AD. And a timeout called by Denver. Their lead down to 14 points.
Michael Malone is going to remind his guys, we can't put 4 people on Anthony Davis, but guess what, guys? Every time down the floor, Rajon Rondo is giving the ball to Anthony Davis. Can we focus on him a little bit?
Sometimes it only takes one player to get on a hot streak to keep you close enough to be positioned to win in the second half, and right now that's Anthony Davis.
Who scored the last 10 points of Game 2. He has scored the last 10 points for the Lakers here as they were down 18 to Denver. 55-41, Nuggets leading here with 3:34 to go in the half.
It's going to be interesting to see coming out of this timeout if Michael Malone decides to double him or maybe even play zone. Just do something to mix things up, because right now Rondo and Anthony Davis are getting whatever they want on the offensive end for the Lakers.
That's exactly right, because it's a win for Denver every time it's somebody other than Anthony Davis taking shots. So Caruso's already got 5 field goal attempts. Rondo 2, Kuzma 3, Caldwell Pope 2, Green 4. Hey, listen, keep shooting, guys. If done Denver, go ahead.
Exactly. I'm reading the quotes from this morning when we talked to Michael Malone. Understand Anthony Davis' tendencies, double him when we can. But right now, they're not doing either of those things that he said was a priority for his team.
3:34 left in the first half. The Nuggets, they're led by as many as 18 points. Right now a 55-41 lead on the Lakers. Denver trailing this best of 7, 2 games to none. It'll be Denver ball coming out of the timeout. 94 feet from the hoop. Jokic gets it into Jamal Murray. Murray against KCP. Little token pressure. Now backs off. Murray into the front court. Murray will flip it left side, gets it right back from Harris. Murray at the top, 13 to shoot. Fires down low. Jokic makes the catch. Under some pressure, gets fouled by Dwight Howard underneath, and Jokic will shoot 2.
Really good execution, Doris. They really had Michael Porter on that flex cut you talked about earlier, but they passed on that one, but they got Nikola Jokic with the ball underneath. I actually thought he should have finished also. Oh, that's pretty hard foul by Dwight. I guess I can understand why he didn't finish that. Dwight Howard got his money's worth on that call.
First free throw is in for Jokic, who had 11 points in the first quarter. That is his first here of the second.
Dwight Howard's done a good job since he's been in the game on Nikola Jokic.
3:21 on the clock, first half. Jokic one more free throw. Good. 13 for Jokic. Denver 57, Lakers 41. With a 3:19 on the clock in the half. Rondo shaded by Jamal Murray. Rondo's got Murray on him, 35 feet from the hoop. Now Murray backs off. Rondo dribbling down the lane, hangs, extends, and lays it in. Explosive move by Rajon Rondo. 57-43, Lakers back within 14, under 3 minutes to go in the half. Murray at the top, left side, Millsap, good look at a 3, missed it, long rebound to Rondo. Rondo into the front court, cuts to the free throw line, down the lane, shot blocked by Jokic out of bounds as Rondo tried to sidearm it with the left hand toward the rim.
Should be noted that Jamal Murray just 8 points, 2 for 5 from the floor, 2 for 4 from 3. He does have 6 assists. He'll get started and go on a little rip of his own at some point.
Inbound to LeBron, doubled, finds Rondo in the corner, missed a 3, Denver rebounds. 2.5 to go first half, 57-43 Denver. Michael Porter Jr. against LeBron, takes him off the bounce. Howard gets in the way, blocks it, and saved on the end line by KCP.
Stay in the play, Michael.
Out to the wing, a pass intended for Davis, goes off the foot of whom? They'll say last touch by...
He's got it right. It was
AD, yes. It was off his foot and out of bounds. Denver ball.
Both coaches either did talk to their teams at the timeout or in their minds right now. Michael Malone wants to go into the locker room with this score up near 20, the margin. Frank Vogel wants it down near 10. Which team executes better these final 2 minutes?
Murray drives in the lane, looked to send a bounce pass behind the back and tried to drop it on the low box. Knocked out by the Lakers. Denver still 12 to shoot as Frank Vogel sends in Kyle Kuzma for Rajon Rondo.
Unless you've lifted some of your teammates, you're driving into size if you're Jamal Murray.
He's very fortunate he didn't turn the ball over.
Gary Harris to inbound. It's a lob out, caught over the shoulder by Jokic on the three-point line. 10 to shoot, couple of dribbles, handoff Murray. Murray darts down the lane, hangs, flips it up, and it hugs the rim and goes down. Wow.
tough circus shot over Dwight Howard.
59-43 Denver. 150 left in the half. Inside pass to Howard. Turns, fouled, and one.
Boy, he seems to take special enjoyment playing against Nikola Jokic. You know, is it all the talk, PJ, about the best center in the league right now is Nikola Jokic?
Yeah, I think a lot of pride right there, but that was Michael Porter's fault. He just ran him behind the basket and scored on him like he wasn't even there. That's why Michael Porter's heading to the bench right now. This young guy is so talented, and he's helping them so much offensively. But he's got to give them either a bunch of rebounds, and then he can put up with his defensive lapses, but he's always in the middle of a rotation or a bad defensive play that costs his team.
Dwight Howard flicks a free throw, no good. Porter, 9 points on the bench with 3 fouls. Denver's lead is 14, 59-45, 140 left in the half. Jokic and Murray. Here's Murray. Pull up from 18. Yes for Jamal Murray. 61-45 Denver.
So back-to-back baskets. See, Murray can get started, but Mike Malone talks to him all the time. How is your team doing?
LeBron James passes to the left corner. KCP for 3. Buries it.
Big bucket. KCP has been there when they've needed him.
They were 2 of 11 from 3 before that make the Lakers. 61-48 Denver, 110 left in the half. Murray on the arc, passes high, and it's out of bounds over the hands of Gary Harris.
Kesty, over and over, Frank Vogel has preached, when we get a bad matchup, we got to be quicker getting out of it. Jamal has hurt the bigs. They got to switch to a big, but the Lakers, very quickly, KCP gets them out of it, and they rotate and make a tough pass. So really good defense.
From the Lakers, down 13. James, head of steam down the lane. Reverse layup good. It's down to 11. 61-50 Denver in front with a minute to go in the half.
I'm picturing those 2 turnovers by Jamal Mosley, not recognizing the 24-second clock, and a careless pass.
Gary Harris drives outside the 3-point line, looking for Jokic, no dice. Now finds him outside beyond the arc with 9 to shoot. Jokic against AD, takes him tip of the circle, AD being physical. Jokic, fade away, one-footed jumper is good for Nikola Jokic. Wow.
That was an H and an O if we're playing horse on that one.
63-50, Denver leading. 38 seconds to go in the half. 15 for Jokic. James going to take Jokic deep. Now peels off to the left corner. Now he's got Torrey Craig guarding. Flips it up top. Markieff Morris. Quick trigger 3. Around and down for the Lakers. Back-to-back triple.
Yeah, after a struggle out of the gates from 3, back-to-back, good shots, one wide open. That one by Morris, a little bit better contest, but still he makes it.
Denver leads by 10 with the ball. About 4 seconds difference. Shot clock and halftime clock, which hits 13. Jamal Murray dribbling, gets a screen from Millsap. Great feed inside to Millsap, trying to wrap around the pass, went off LeBron James, out of bounds with 3 seconds to shoot for Denver.
This is a big possession for the Denver Nuggets right now going into the locker room. After leading by 18, they've let the Lakers creep back in it, and the Lakers are going to get the ball probably with 4 seconds left on the clock. Denver would do very, very well to score.
3.7 on the shot clock. Gary Harris, front court right, looking. Inside to Jokic, pass on top. Millsap for 3 off the front rim. Jokic, the offensive board, the putback, no, tip, no. And Denver's lead will be 10 here at halftime in game number 3.
Paul Millsap was wide open. Jokic made him an excellent pass, wide open from the top of the key, and then Jokic got a rebound in traffic. I think that's what he and Michael Malone were talking to Mark Davis about. The reason he didn't finish was he couldn't jump, couldn't get off the floor because he was surrounded on both sides. But again, Mike Malone would have taken a 10-point lead at halftime for sure, Doris Burke. But after leading by 18, they got to be a little disappointed.
It does. The finish was not what you had hoped for, but at least you're not playing uphill.
3 different Nuggets in double figures led by Nikola Jokic. Anthony Davis leading all scorers, 16 for the Lakers. It ends a streak of 6 straight games trailing at halftime for Denver. Down 2 games to none. They lead the Lakers at the break, 63-53. Now let's send it to Pat O'Keefe in the studio with the AutoZone halftime report.
Kesty, thanks a lot. So Jokic and Jamal Murray leading the way in the scoring column for Denver. Huge contributions off the bench in that first half for Monte Morris and Michael Porter Jr. As you said, 63-53. Morris and Porter Jr. combining for 21 points points in 25 minutes off the bench in that first half. Coming up on the AutoZone halftime report, the Boston Celtics found a formula that worked for them in Game 3. We'll tell you what it was and if they can repeat it in Game number 4. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
If you love public radio, you know that there's so much more than one kind of NPR station. While some affiliates focus on news and talk, others specialize in playing some of the most original and refreshing music put on the airwaves. From national flagships like All Songs Considered and Tiny Desk concerts to beloved shows like Morning Becomes Eclectic from KCRW and WXPN's World Cafe. TuneIn has all the incredible stations, shows, and podcasts that make the NPR universe the most exciting place to hear and discover music. Search NPR Music to start listening.
Not sure what to listen to next? Well, here's this week's 3 things to hear. The NBA Conference Finals are underway. You can listen to every game for free on ESPN Radio. Search ESPN Radio on game days to listen. Get the latest analysis on where the presidential race stands, along with local races happening in your state. Listen to your favorite news stations on TuneIn. TuneIn will celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with Latin music and podcasts to honor the role of Hispanic and Latino Americans in U.S. history. Find these and more trending audio on the homepage of the TuneIn app.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear. More driven.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Pat O'Keefe in studio. The Nuggets lead the Lakers 63-53 in game number 3. The NBA halftime show on ESPN Radio is presented by AutoZone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, proven tough battery selection. That's what makes AutoZone your battery solution, where help is always in stock. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Well, the Eastern Conference Finals resume tomorrow night with Game 4 between the Celtics and the Heat. Miami holding a 2-1 lead there, following 2 disappointing losses to begin that series in which the Celtics blew a pair of double-digit leads. They were able to take Game 3, and a big reason why was their aggression.
8-3 run, Boston, and it's going to be more. Another steal, half-court, Jaylen Brown. 1-on-2, right to the cup. A 10-3 Boston run and a 10-point lead with 90 seconds to go in the half.
Jaylen Brown led the Celtics with a career-high 19 drives to the rim. He had 6 blow-bys, one shy of matching his career high. The Celtics as a team finished with 58 drives, tied for their 5th most in a playoff game under Brad Stevens. It was clear to everyone, including Eric Spoelstra, that attacking the rim was a point of emphasis for the Celtics in Game 3.
They came out, Boston did, with great force in this game, and you do have to credit them for that. They sustained it for the better majority of the game. We were on our heels most of the game, flattening us out with our execution, getting us into the end of the clock on too many possessions, and then I think everybody could see the dribble attack penetration in the paint. We weren't able to contain the ball all night, and you have to credit them. They were playing with great force.
The Celtics finished with 60 points in the paint in Game 3, tied for their most in a playoff game over the last 20 postseasons. And according to Second Spectrum, Boston had the second highest offensive efficiency on drives against a zone defense this season.
Kemba Walker right in front of the Celtic bench. Sends it to Wanamaker on the wing into Marcus Smart mid-post. Over Duncan, the foul, puts up the shot, hangs on the rim and goes down.
The Celtics will look to even up the Eastern Conference Finals in Game 4 tomorrow night following 3 days off. ESPN senior writer Kevin Pelton on who that layoff favors.
I think Boston. I mean, first off, you have Hayward coming back from the injury, and he's got a chance to, they can probably get a pretty serious practice in here to continue working on his rhythm and timing. But the other factor is, they went 7 games against Toronto in the second round. They did have some time off between the 2 series, but Miami has not had the same kind of workload over the course of the playoffs, going, 5 games against Milwaukee.
And our thanks to ESPN Stats and Info. Gordon Hayward, 6 points, 2 of 7 shooting, but 4 assists in his much-needed return in game number 3. Coming up next on the AutoZone Halftime Report, first half highlights. Nuggets lead the Lakers 63-53. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your baby to let you sleep in?
What? We're to sleep in another half hour? Thanks, sweetheart. And you'll change yourself too?
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
Your most life-changing sleep is about what's underneath. This is a Casper mattress. Inside, precisely 1,501 perforations create a cooling system so effective, you won't be awake to notice. Only Casper mattresses are made with 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Altogether, it's the cooling, supportive comfort you need for the most refreshed feeling come morning. Only on a Casper mattress. Only at Casper.com.
You know that sound? When a crowd of fans suddenly goes quiet? This November, your vote is your voice. 39% of eligible voters did not vote in the last presidential election. This election is your chance to be heard and decide who represents you. Raise your voice, sports fans. Register to vote. National Voter Registration Day is September 22nd. For more information, visit IamAvoter.com.
The Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Puts up the shot, hangs on the rim, and goes down.
The Celtics broke through with a clutch win in Game 3 against the Heat.
The Boston Celtics get off the mat, go wire to wire against the Miami Heat.
Will they have the momentum to go back-to-back to even the series? Or will Jimmy Butler and the Heat bounce back and put them on the doorstep of elimination? Celtics Heat, Game 4, tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Presented by Indeed.
Coming up Wednesday, we react to all the action from Game 3 in the Western Conference Finals, even though no matter what happens, my prediction of Lakers in 5 still holds true. That's all coming up Wednesday, 4 Eastern on Chiney Angola Jr. here on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Today, Angola Jr.
This is the love language of athletics at times, and people used to always misattribute this to, this is how guys work out problems. They yell and they scream and they get in fights and work it out. Now, this is how athletes work out problems because you're expected to go out there and play with all this unbridled energy at certain times. And so it's understandable that in key pressure situations, you would have these kind of emotions spill over into the locker room.
Chiney Angola Jr. Weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, streaming live or on demand from your smart speaker. The Low Post Podcast with Zach Lowe.
I'm done assuming that the Nuggets are out of the series until the final buzzer goes off and Jokic is on the flight back to Serbia for some Chavapi.
Check out the Low Post Podcast on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Pat O'Keefe. This is the AutoZone Halftime Report. Denver leading the Lakers 63-53, trying to get back into the series that they trailed 2 games to nothing. As we recap the first half, Denver shot well from the beginning. 60% from the field in the first quarter. Nikola Jokic, 11 points, 5 for 7 shooting in the first. Denver had a 29-27 lead after 1. In the second, the Nuggets got a huge lift off the bench.
Porter squares and connects on a 3 over LeBron James.
I thought he was open when he first caught it. He waited. Now LeBron's guarding him, and he still makes the shot.
7-point Denver lead, their largest to game 3. Rondo drives, but his pass to the wing stolen by Jamal Murray. Fires down floor to Morris. Checks his feet for 3, shoots a miss. Wide open offensive board and a miss, but a retip goes in for Michael Porter Jr.
Led to a timeout for Frank Vogel. It was your Marathon first half moment, brought to you by Marathon. No matter where your travels take you, Marathon can improve your engine performance with quality top-tier gasoline. Marathon, fueling the American spirit. Michael Porter Jr. and Monte Morris combining for 21 points in the first half, 8 of 10 shooting, 3 for 4 from downtown. Denver's largest lead was 50-32. Anthony Davis at one point late in the second did score 9 straight points for the Lakers to get them back to within 10. That's where we stand right now, 63-53. Nuggets on top at the break. Coming up next, second half tip between the Nuggets and the Lakers in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
If you love public radio, you know that there's so much more than one kind of NPR station. While some affiliates focus on news and talk, others specialize in playing some of the most original and refreshing music put on the airwaves. From national flagships like All Songs Considered and Tiny Desk concerts to beloved shows like Morning Becomes Eclectic from KCRW and WXPN's World Cafe. TuneIn has all the incredible stations, shows, and podcasts that make the NPR universe the most exciting place to hear and discover music. Search NPR Music to start listening.
Hey, this is Rachel Nichols from The Jump, the show on ESPN where I keep tabs on everything happening in the NBA with the help from a rotating cast of insiders and analysts.
To the rim, can't finish. It was blocked by Kawhi Leonard.
And with TuneIn, you can hear The Jump whenever and wherever you go. Watch live weekdays on ESPN TV or catch up on the show anytime as an on-demand podcast. Just search The Jump on TuneIn and start listening today.
Looking to stay current on America's pastime?
Play ball!
While managing your fantasy roster? On the Roto World Podcast, fantasy experts DJ Short and Drew Silva examine the latest MLB headlines and everything happening in fantasy baseball.
I'm way too pleased with myself. Like, I was so excited for Andy to see this, and Scott, but especially Andy. And yeah, I'd be lying if I...
Search Roto World Baseball on TuneIn to listen.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Does this sort of feel like it's all systems go for Justin Fields?
Yeah, because it would be a huge about face, right? If you stood on the table and you said you wanted to play and let us play. So now you are going to have the opportunity to play. But if you make the decision that you don't want to play, people are going to look at that and go, oh, this dude here. Even though I don't think that's the case with him, I think he really, truly wanted to play. Now he has the opportunity to play, to do whatever it is that he needs to feel he needs to accomplish at Ohio State. Me personally, I wouldn't play. I'd be ready for the NFL draft. See y'all later. Because that championship ring, that's cool for the school and everything, but at the end, it's not for me. I'm trying to secure my future, and I don't need to add any more risk to the situation.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, or on ESPN News.
This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
I'm Pat O'Keefe in studio. Denver out-rebounded the Lakers 27-17 in the first half. They lead 63-53. Time for half number 2. Let's head back to Orlando along with PJ Carlissimo and Doris Burke. Here's Mark Kestisher.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And let's get to our halftime adjustments here for the second half of Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Doris, we'll start with you. Denver has the lead. It was bigger. It's down to 10. What are your adjustments now?
Michael Malone has stressed to us, because he coached LeBron for 5 years, you can't let him have everything, and his weaknesses and his ability to separate and make the guys around him better. LeBron has scored or assisted on 32 of the 53 points, so I think you've got to do a better job. He's got 9 assists. Keep the pressure on the boards. You've actually out-rebounded them 23-11, and Jokic and Jamal have got to stay aggressive. Jamal, 7 shots, 6 assists. He's got to be ultra aggressive in the second half.
DJ, Lakers?
They got to erase that 10-point lead early. Get Denver not feeling good about themselves. They would go a long way if they catch up right away. Where are the guards? Rondo, Caruso, and Danny Green are 2 for 14 for the Lakers. More threes would certainly help. They started 2 for 11. KCP and Markieff Morris, those 2 they made, really were big, and that helped them get back in the game.
Halftime adjustments brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. It's road trip season. Get ready with 5 Hour Energy. And Frank Vogel doing something he did in Game 1 as well of the Western Conference Finals. Dwight Howard is going to start the third quarter. He made that adjustment in Game 1.
Yes, he did. And the reason he's doing it is Dwight Howard did a good job bothering Nikola Jokic. He wasn't able to get anything going. And as you said last game, he's in his head. There's no question about that.
Jokic 15 in the first half. Denver will have it. Going now left to right as we watch it. Flip pass to Grant up top. Paul Millsap. Nuggets with a 10-point lead starting the second half. Gets to Murray. Tip of the circle. Backs off. Now accelerates on Dwight Howard. Falling away. Puts up a shot as he's fouled. That nearly went down. 2 free throws coming for Jamal Murray.
This should be on Danny Green. I don't think Dwight Howard, unless he got him with the body, I thought it was on Danny.
Yeah, they signaled 3-9, so I guess that is going to be on Dwight Howard, which will be his second.
And that's been the case, Kesty. Jamal Murray has been excellent on the switches when he draws the big. He gets more aggressive and assertive offensively.
2 free throws coming for Jamal Murray. 12 first half points. First one on its way, no good. Too strong, back iron. Third free throw miss by the Nuggets. Only thing that kept them from a 50, 40, 90 first half.
This guy is a 91% free throw shooter.
One more coming for Murray. And that one pops in and out. Missed 2. 10-point lead for Denver.
Same way they got in trouble last game. He's 14th in the NBA in free throw shooting.
Here's LeBron James left of the circle. Misses an open look. Rebounded by Millsap. Paul Millsap will get it to Jokic, going to the left side. Fires a no-look to the baseline. Out to the corner it goes to Millsap. 10 to shoot, Anthony Davis guarding. Now on top, Jeremy Grant against LeBron. Finds Jokic at the top. A long straight-on 3, back iron. Chasing it down, offensive rebound, Murray. Out to Grant for 3 from the wing. Another Denver miss from outside. Down the other end, KCP transition 3 is good. Lakers within 7. Contavious Caldwell-Pope had 3 of those in Game 1 in the Lakers' victory. Here's Jamal Murray probing and backing off beyond the arc. Now driving Dwight Howard off the mismatch. He's doubled. Pass to Grant, 9 to shoot. Jeremy Grant, low dribble stolen by KCP against Millsap. Down deep, layup around the rim, twice and in. Timeout Denver as the Lakers cut the deficit all the way down to 5.
Yeah, that's why I said it was so important. The last thing they needed was to put some doubt into the Denver Nuggets. It was so important, I thought, for Denver to get off to a good start. They got 2 free throws from their one of, if not their best free throw shooter. The first possession, he misses both of them. They got a wide open 3. They got an offensive rebound. Got nothing done. In the meantime, the Lakers in transition made them pay.
A 13-2 run, bridging the first and second half. 63-58. Denver leading the Lakers. 10:34 to go third quarter, and you're listening to the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Do not hire Franklin & Sons Electrical. The guy told me he'd shrink my monthly bill, and I'm like, dude, it's too small to read as it is.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then he's like, where's the circuit breaker? I'm like, bro, I didn't break anything.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial, auto, and business insurance.
He told me I had a blown fuse. It's called a short fuse, and yes, I do have one, so watch yourself.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
It's time for some straight talk. Here's a wireless equation to wrap your brain around. Big carriers plus fancy phone offers plus pricey contracts equals fail. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get a new phone payment plan with no fees, no contracts, and no deposits. For great Samsung phones starting at less than $7 a month. All on America's largest and most dependable networks for up to 50% less. Turn that brain power into money-saving power. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
You know that sound when a crowd of fans suddenly goes quiet? Your vote is your voice. 39% of eligible voters did not vote in the last presidential election. Raise your voice, sports fans. Visit IamAvoter.com.
The Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Walker for 3 is good.
The The Celtics and Heat square off in Game 4 tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Presented by Indeed.
We rise together for this generation and the next. On the court and in the streets. For your city, for your team, for everything it took to get to this moment. Rise together. Because together, we can win it all.
The NBA playoffs continue tomorrow on ESPN with Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Celtics Heat at 8:30 Eastern, presented by AT&T 5G. Rise together.
I'm Pat O'Keefe in studio. Eastern Conference Finals resume tomorrow. Game number 4, Miami and Boston. Our coverage begins at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on ESPN Radio. Lakers have closed to within 5. Back to Kesty, PJ, and Doris.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. And a trio of NBA podcasts, Zach Lowe, Brian Windhorst, Adrian Wojnarowski. Join the conversation wherever you get your podcasts. The Denver Nuggets once led by 18 points, and now it is down to 5. 63-58, 10:34 left third quarter. And look who is defending Nikola Jokic on the baseline, 94 feet away coming in.
And he stepped out of bounds and was in his face.
Wow.
And the official made him step back into the, in between the inbounds part of it.
Dwight Howard already with 1 technical in the game. He's jumping jacking as Jokic gets it into Murray. And now Howard waiting for Jokic at half court. Jokic dribbling out to the right, hands off to Murray at the top to the free throw line. Great pass down low to Grant, who flushes it home.
Boy, did they need that. And kind of quietly, how about KCP? He's had 8 of the Lakers' last 13 points. Talk about stepping up.
Dwight Howard against Jokic on the offensive side, gives to James, fires a pass right side Davis. AD to the lane, a whistle, launches it toward the rim, no good. AD, they're going to say this was on the floor before the shot, the foul right now.
I think they had 2 different fouls. I think Kevin Scott had 1 foul and Kane Fitzgerald had another. Yep.
Looks like from up here they're saying no shot on the floor against Paul Millsap.
What happened was Kevin Scott had a foul away from the ball handler, and he blew the whistle before Kane Fitzgerald did on the shooter.
Third on Millsap, inbound to Anthony Davis. And now a whistle as LeBron James goes down, and we had a collision. Was that Jamal Murray collided with, and James got the worst of it. Still on 2 knees, and now popping up and trying to pull out that mouth guard as he might have got hit in the chops there at the 10-minute mark to go here in the second. Now bent over at the waist, LeBron James.
They're going to look at it, the referees. I think just on the fact that if LeBron James is hurt at all, it had to be a tremendous shot.
He took an elbow from Jamal Murray to his face and went down like he was shot.
Yeah. Jamal had an arm bar up, but it was up a little bit high. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't get a flagrant 1 out of this, because it looked like the elbow made contact with LeBron James' face.
Personal foul on Jamal Murray, and as you said, now looking to see if there's a flagrant involved. Both of them
kind of slid up. He actually started with his arm. We're watching the replay. He had that arm bar in LeBron's chest, and it slid up high. And then as Jamal Murray tried to get disengaged from LeBron, his elbow hit LeBron right across the face. Inadvertent, I would say, for certain, but contact also. I'm thinking flagrant 1. What do you think, DB?
I think it's a flagrant 1, and I think it's a big call because you're going to get a free throw.
Yeah.
You'll have possession again.
Also, what does Jamal Murray have? Oh, it's only 1, so it'll be a second foul. That's good.
Mark Davis was on the headset with Kevin Scott. Now Scott takes off the headset. Kane Fitzgerald comes over as Jamal Murray was called for the foul, and then the right elbow clipping LeBron James in the mouth, knocking him down.
I don't know, when I get what you're saying about the slip of the arm bar.
Yeah.
But, they used to use that wind-up impact follow-through.
Yeah.
And he does kind of come through with it.
Well, it's like he turns away, and as he turns away, like Jamal turns his left shoulder back, and as his left shoulder goes back, his right elbow comes right
through.
across
That's right.
LeBron's face. I'm hoping They're just debating whether it's a flagrant one or a common foul. I hope they're not debating whether it's a one or a two.
This is a
There's
one.
no way that's
No
a
way.
two.
No way it's a two.
We're back. Here we go.
Third time on the headset now for Mark Davis after a confab with all three officials here. 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Denver 65, Lakers 58. Lakers trailed by as many as 18. Right now, a 7-point spread, and here comes Mark Davis.
Upon review, this foul has been determined to be a flagrant foul, penalty 1 for the unnecessary contact. Wasn't ample space and contact was significant. Flagrant foul, penalty 1.
There you go, as you guys discussed.
And again, so our listeners are aware, a flagrant foul is decided by the three officials here. Anytime there's any kind of hostile action, the decision's made by these three officials, even though they're on the headset with the replay center.
LeBron James will shoot the technical, and he misses off the back iron. There is very few now that the officials here will have to decide. Like you said, flagrant is one of them, fighting is another one, but I'd say 90% of the calls come from the replay center.
And you're wondering, why are they on the headset? Well, they're getting different angles. The replay center's helping them. But the ultimate decision is made by the three officials here.
All right, so James split the technical free throws. Lakers keep possession, down 6, 65-59. 2 minutes into the third quarter. James will inbound from the far right side into Dwight Howard and quickly to Anthony Davis. Hands it off to LeBron, who's got Jamal Murray covering. Two go with him. They find Davis left side for three on its way. No good. Nikola Jokic got knocked down in the lane off the missed shot. Foul against the Lakers. Loose ball on Dwight Howard. And Jokic is still down on his back. Now just getting help from Jeremy Grant and Jamal Murray. Howard just put a left elbow right into the mid-back of Jokic.
You could be charitable and say he was trying to box him out. You could be not charitable and say he dropped his shoulder and it was like a block, like a tight end would put on a defensive tackle.
6'10", 265-pound tight end. Jokic hands off to Murray. Quick trigger three on top. Right of the mark, no good. James has the rebound for the Lakers, down 6. James stops, foot on the tape, jumper, no. Rebounded by Murray. Looking outlet, instead will dribble up. 9.5 to go in the third. Passes to Jokic, down low, Millsap. Ball fake, lost it momentarily. Somehow fed Gary Harris in the corner, and a blocking foul against LA. I don't know how Millsap kept control of that one.
I don't know how he didn't catch it and score underneath. He fumbled it away. It was a beautiful pass by Jokic, found Millsap underneath, but then he turned around and saw Anthony Davis, and that convinced him not to shoot the ball.
Danny Green, the foul is second. 13 foul LA. Denver inbounds to Gary Harris. 9:20 left in the third. Bounces it to Jokic on top. Jokic against KCP this time. Takes him into the lane, wheels, fires outside to Grant against James. Grant drives, whistle, throws it at the rim, no good. James called for the foul, and Jeremy Grant will shoot two.
Jeremy Grant's done a nice job for them tonight. He's 9 points already. He's looking more aggressively on offense, and more importantly, he's staying on the floor. He's only committed 2 fouls. His inability to stay on the floor, I thought, really hurt Denver in game 2.
Gives him an exceptionally long, athletic defender. This is the guy that they consider to be the 4 long-term next to Nikola Jokic at the 5, because they think he brings a level of athleticism that Jokic lacks.
First free throw good for Jeremy Grant. 12 points, one of 4 Denver Nuggets with at least a dozen here in game 3. Second one, no good, too strong. James trying to get the rebound. Was it off of James' hand or Jamal Murray's?
Wow.
They'll say Murray last touch. I thought it was James.
Yeah, Mark Davis was very forceful with the call, though, and nobody complained, so I'm sure Mark, as usual, was correct.
66-59, Denver leading the Lakers. Davis catch and shoot, 17-footer, wraps out. Jamal Murray rebounds under 9 minutes to go in the third. Murray quickly front, puts it on the deck, blows by Green, pass in the corner. Up top, Grant gets a look at a three, it's good! Jeremy Grant with 15, Denver back up 10.
Play with pace and force, get an easy shot.
8:44 left in the third. James will align the Laker offense. Looking for the mismatch. Finds Anthony Davis against Jamal Murray. Takes him to the free throw line, and the pass is stolen by who else? Jeremy Grant, 1-on-2. Lays it up and in. Denver back up a dozen.
How about Jeremy Grant in the way he stepped up? We were debating who it was going to be. I thought it had to be by committee. Jeremy Grant, on that three-point shot, Doris, they moved it quickly. He could have made one more pass to Nikola Jokic on top. He said, no, I got this. And he knocked the three down. I love the confidence from Jeremy Grant.
Just playing aggressive and assertive, and they push the lead, give themselves a little bit more of a cushion. They, again, are the aggressor. They're on the attack, Kesty.
Jeremy Grant has the last 8 for Denver. He's up to 17. Timeout, 8:27 to go in the third. Nuggets 71, Lakers 59. And this is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app presented by Indeed.
If you love public radio, you know that there's so much more than one kind of NPR station. While some affiliates focus on news and talk, others specialize in playing some of the most original and refreshing music put on the airwaves. From national flagships like All Songs Considered and Tiny Desk concerts to beloved shows like Morning Becomes Eclectic from KCRW and WXPN's World Cafe. TuneIn has all the incredible stations, shows, and podcasts that make the NPR universe the most exciting place to hear and discover music. Search NPR Music to start listening.
The NBA playoffs are down to the final 4 teams. To LeBron all the way! The Lakers, Nuggets, Celtics, and Heat all have their sights set on the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And you can listen to find out which 2 teams will advance. Don't miss a second of the action with ESPN Radio's live, free play-by-play of the NBA Conference Finals on TuneIn.
Here is 3. He got it again! Big shots! Here's a flamethrower!
Search sports on TuneIn to listen live wherever you are.
Are you sure you aren't missing out on what's happening right now on TuneIn? Follow TuneIn on social media to hear about trending content, breaking news, live events, and the latest audio sensations. Just find @TuneIn on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Add them on Facebook to stay in the know and discover your next audio obsession. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook now.
College football is back on the field.
He's gonna go in, touchdown!
And TuneIn is your ticket to the game. Listen to live play-by-play, pre- and post-game coverage, college football podcasts, and in-depth analysis of the biggest stories around the sport.
We want to play football.
Best of all, it's free.
Barkley motions into the backfield. McSorley fakes to him. Instead, into the end zone. Touchdown!
Search college sports on the TuneIn app to find your team and start listening.
I'm Pat O'Keefe. Anthony Davis is putting together our Performance of the Week this series. It's brought to you by Pennzoil. Pennzoil synthetic motor oils are made from natural gas. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30AD. 34 points a game through the first 2. He's 25 for 29 from the free throw line. 16 more points tonight. Back to you, Kesty.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. All 8 Denver points in this third quarter coming from Jeremy Grant and PJ Carlesimo. Big response from Michael Malone's team.
Yeah, they obviously needed a timeout. He got the message across, and they settled down. And as Doris talked about, they settled down because they were able to get stops and come running down in transition. Jeremy Grant was in the middle of those stops, too. He stripped Anthony Davis the last possession.
Mark Kestisher, PJ Carlesimo, Doris Burke with you from the NBA campus at Disney. Denver down 2-0, leading 71-59. Lakers have it. LeBron in the right corner. 8:15 to go in the third. Back to the basket against Jeremy Grant, a long right arm of defense. Now a hesitation move, a twitch, and a fadeaway for James is good.
Boy, LeBron James holds that ball for a lot of the possession, which is something that Frank had talked about, not holding it. But when it's LeBron, he can make something out of nothing.
And when he makes the shot, you don't say anything.
13 for James. Lakers back within 10. Jamal Murray against Danny Green. Bounces it to Jokic, who's open for a 3 and connects.
What a good pass by Jamal Murray. I mean, he went by him and kind of slipped it backwards, if you can picture it, his palm going back right between him. Jokic needed that to get going again, DB.
74-61 Denver. LeBron with it, 7 to shoot, another fadeaway, and another make. Again, LeBron holding fadeaway jumper over Grant.
Nothing you can do when LeBron's fadeaway jump shot is working. He just gets separation on the lean back. You think about Michael Jordan late in his career, that fadeaway was patented.
Denver with the lead. Jokic receives it for Murray. Great pocket pass down low, but a turnover as Millsap couldn't convert. He collides with Anthony Davis. Nobody hurt, fortunately. It's a 4-on-4 on the other end. James deep floats. Again, LeBron. 8 straight Laker points within 9.
He's being aggressive and assertive as a scorer, which he typically does if his team's offense is stalled.
7 straight LeBron James points, 74-65 Denver. Murray Euro steps down the lane, pass out to Grant. Jeremy drives into a triple team, got contact. Shot no good. Bodies all strewn on the floor, including Danny Green and Anthony Davis, and all being helped up here at the 6:37 mark to go in the third.
They got to stop throwing the ball to Paul Millsap underneath the basket. Jokic made a really good pass 2 possessions ago. He just doesn't want to shoot the ball underneath. I mean, it's not easy shooting when you got guys like Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard around you, but Paul Millsap's an accomplished player, and he's got the ball at the rim.
And so you sit there and you say to yourself, well, why are you, if he's so hesitant and not giving you anything on the possessions he's getting offensively, why is he in the game? Well, he's in the game because he's guarding Anthony Davis. But you're right, the better option, the more assertive, aggressive, confident player on the offensive end right now in that third scorer slot is Mr. Jeremy Grant.
And Paul Millsap does give you rebounding normally. He's got 3 so far tonight, but he has had some opportunities.
Grant hits 2 free throws. He's got 10 of his 19 in the third quarter, and the 19 points ties a playoff career high for Jeremy Grant. 76-65, Denver leads the Lakers. 6.5 to go third quarter. AD flips it to LeBron James, who's been hot of late. Out beyond the arc. They switch. Millsap's got him. Takes him off the bounce, drives hard, stripped out of bounds. Last touch by Denver. 5 to shoot for the Lakers coming. 6:18 on the clock. Lakers set up.
They're going to lob it to LeBron. He's going to shoot it.
KCP to LeBron with 4 to shoot. Faces up Grant. Another fadeaway, and this one misses short. Jamal Murray's got it. Murray with an 11-point Denver lead. Hesitation move. Blow by to the lane. High off the window. Misses. Green starts transition to LeBron the other way. James avoids Jokic. Stops his dribble 20 feet from the hoop to KCP and right back to LeBron. Left side to Green. Waits for Jamal Murray to clear. Drives the lane and kicks to KCP. And a 3-second violation called against Anthony Davis of the Lakers.
You know who made that play possible? Nikola Jokic did a good job because he stopped LeBron in transition, which hardly anybody can do. But he got in front of him and forced him to peel out, and they had an attack in the half court.
They actually called the 3 seconds on Dwight Howard. Here's Jamal Murray. Pass to Jokic. Passes up a 3 into the corner. Gary Harris answers with a triple. Denver 79, Lakers 65.
Jokic passed up a 3. I thought he was the better option. Now Harris makes that shot, but I think I want Jokic aggressive.
No question.
5.5 minutes to go in the third. Davis trying to spin. Lost it down to the baseline. Saves it. Passes out dangerously to LeBron. 5:20 left in the third. Over to Davis. Corner 3. Misses. But KCP, man on the spot, offensive board and stick back.
He's got 12. The 2 threes he made felt weighty. That one felt big as well.
12-point Denver lead as we come up to 5 minutes left in the third. Jamal Murray using a Jokic screen to the right side. Dwight Howard off the switch. Murray's wide open. He'll shoot the 3 in and out. Rebounded by Dwight Howard, but he lost the handle out of bounds. 2 mistakes by Howard. He left Murray wide open, and then he lost the rebound.
They're getting great looks out of that 2-man play, which they normally do, but they've been unable to convert. How fortunate were the Lakers? Anthony Davis shoots an air ball, but it's so long, it drops right into KCP's hands, and he gets an easy bucket on the weak side.
Cassie, you're starting to see some bad body language from the Lakers. After that mishandle, Danny Green puts his head down. LeBron started barking at Dwight Howard. He didn't like the defensive lapse.
Howard is out. Markieff Morris is in. Inbound to Jokic of Denver. 12 to shoot. Now Millsap. Hits Murray at the top, pivots above the three-point line, uses a Jokic screen, finds Jokic on the floater. It's in, 81-67 Denver.
Another 2-man play, another good look.
4:37 to go here in the third. Rondo gets through traffic, slicing to the lane and puts it in on the lay-in.
Can't fall asleep, Denver. I know you've got the lead. You feel good. Every possession matters.
That's too easy what just happened.
81-69 Denver. Pass for Jokic. No, goes all the way to the corner to Monte Morris, who picks it up and knocks home a triple.
Monte Morris and Jeremy Grant. stepping up for the Nuggets.
12 off the bench for Morris. Make it 14. He had 12 in the first half. 14-point lead Denver. Anthony Davis bodied by Millsap, missing on the 19-footer. Rebounded by Murray under 4 minutes to go in the third. Murray stops on the three-point line. Hesitation, and as he tried to get by Danny Green, he got bumped. That's Green's third personal foul of this quarter, fourth in the game.
Dusty, that last possession is exactly what Doris talked about. Paul Millsap is in the game, and he is bothering Anthony Davis. He contested that shot. Another miss for Anthony Davis.
He's exceptional, Kesty, at pressuring Anthony before the catch and on the catch, either getting in the stance and preventing the quick dribble drive move we see AD do, or closing space if he goes to the pull-up jump shot. Like, Millsap gives you a lot defensively.
Jamal Murray, one of the best free throw shooters in the league, has missed 3 free throws here tonight. 2 for 5, and he cans the first of 2 with 3:53 to go. Lakers are over the limit here. Denver just 2 fouls in the quarter.
Well, if you're a Denver fan, hopefully that will allow Jamal Murray to kind of put the misses behind him and just settle down.
Jamal Murray, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists here in Game 3. He's got one more. Makes them both. 85-69. The lead is back to 16. They led by 18 points in the second quarter. Denver in front here with 3:50 to go in the third. Rajon Rondo guarded by Millsap off the switch. On the left side, cuts to the free throw line. Pass to the corner, KCP. Squares for 3 and misses. Millsap rebounds. Millsap into the front court. Right to the tip of the circle, flips it to Jamal Murray with 3.5 to go in the third. Slings it to the left. Millsap slings it in the corner to Monte Morris. Morris with 10 to Millsap. Millsap drives hard by AD, flips it up, not there. Tip in is good for Jokic, and the Nuggets have equaled their largest lead at 18. 3:12 left here in the third. Alex Caruso in the game for the Lakers. Will drop it for Rondo. Rondo against Murray, waving his right hand in Rondo's face, and might have clipped him here at the 3:02 mark to go.
I think this is actually going to be on Millsap, if I'm not mistaken. They were trying to get AD off a little rub screen.
Correct. Millsap picks up his fourth, Doris.
That's huge, because right now Anthony Davis is 1 for 7 against Millsap, 4 for 5 against everybody else.
And LeBron James is on the bench, so it's time for Rajon Rondo or Alex Caruso to go to Anthony Davis. So very, very important that Jeremy Grant is able to do somewhat as good a job as Millsap on AD.
You mentioned LeBron out, Kuzma in to replace him. Lakers with it. Another off-ball foul. Mark Davis, the lead official, with the call down on the baseline. Monte Morris on the push.
Sorry about that. I think that's 14 fouls, so one more by Denver, and the Lakers will shoot the bonus.
First on Morris in the game. Caruso triggers in. 2:58 left in the third. Lakers down 18 points here in Game 3. Rondo, a couple of dribbles to Markieff Morris, makes a run into the lane, tried to drop it for Davis, somehow corralled it and put it in.
The pass by Markieff Morris, AD got away with a long time in the lane, but it worked out.
18 for Davis, 87-71. Denver still in front. Murray behind the screen of Torrey Craig, who's on the floor. Dribbles behind the back, fades from the elbow, and connects. Murray with 16.
Yeah, Murray's starting to cook a little bit. He's just seeking out whatever matchup he wants and then attacking off the dribble.
89-71. Nuggets, 2:15 left in the third. Rondo stops the dribble, finds AD top of the circle. Little jab step with a left, now spins free throw line double. They work it in the corner. Kuzma, baseline drive, pass to Rondo, turns it over. Rondo is wide open, left corner, bad pass.
Excellent defense by Denver. They doubled Anthony Davis, got the ball out of his hands. Anything that happens after that is a bonus.
Nuggets led by 18 in the second quarter. The lead was down to 10. At halftime, the Lakers were drawing even closer, early third. Denver is right at the ship with 1:57 to go in the third, but they just turned it over, an offensive foul as Jamal Murray was getting set up.
Is that on Torrey Craig?
Yeah, Michael Malone is really upset.
Torrey Craig was definitely in the area. Yeah, he was bodying Alex Caruso.
Yep. 18 and a chance to go to 20. They don't even get a shot. Bad foul by Torrey Craig.
Instead, Rondo will bring it up for the Lakers. Right to left into the front court. Loops a pass for Anthony Davis left side. Into the lane, losing his balance. Offensive foul on Anthony Davis as he took on a Denver double team and turns it over.
That face-up, that quick face-up and go is generally speaking an advantage. But because it's Jeremy Grant, because you've got an equal level athlete who can cover ground laterally like AD, charge. That is a beautiful defensive play.
Second foul on Davis. Denver has it.
Papa Harvey, I'm sure you're watching on TV. Got to be awful proud.
Porter goes to Murray on the left. Murray into the lane. Hangs, squares off the window. Gets the roll. 91-71. Denver by 20. The Lakers facing their largest deficit of the entire postseason. 1:26 to go here in the third. Rondo with it on top against Murray. Now backs off the switch. Rondo drives into two defenders at the elbow. Finds the open Anthony Davis from 21, and he rainbows it in.
And Jamal Murray feels like he's in complete command of the basketball game. He's got 10 assists for the first time in a playoff game in his career. He's cooking offensively as a scorer as well.
Denver up 18 in possession. Monte Morris, right wing, goes to Jeremy Grant near the right corner. They clear out the right side against Kuzma, takes him deep. A fade from 12, no. Rebound is tipped. Morris can't get it, but the Lakers control. Ahead to Rondo. Rondo with some pace against Morris. Gets deep, flips it up, and one for Rajon Rondo with 41 seconds here in the third.
Lakers threatening to do a good job again, closing the quarter. They did it at the end of the second. They're trying to get it done right now. Okay, when's the last time we saw Monte Morris and Jeremy Grant run a two-man play? They ISO'd the two of them on the right side of the floor.
Second foul on Monte Morris. Rondo will shoot two.
Sorry, Kessie. One thing the coach has done here is give Jamal sneak him a rest here and there. Now he's had to play him this entire quarter. He's going to have to just catch his break when he can.
Rondo one free throw to complete a three-point play. Has it. Here's Denver. Here's Grant. Grant scores on the lay-in. What a third quarter for Jeremy Grant. 25 seconds to go here in the third. 93-75 Denver. Rondo down to the baseline right, and Grant defending. It's Kuzma who pops to the top with about 3 seconds difference on the shot clock in the third quarter clock. Shot clock down to 6. James at the top. LeBron dribbles inside the arc. LeBron's going to pull from 20. No good. Rebounded by Torrey Craig. 2 seconds to go in the third. Here's a half-court heave. No good. But the Denver Nuggets, who saw their lead, trimmed all the way down to 5, have a lead 93-75 going to the fourth quarter.
Just an excellent job by Michael Malone's team, weathering the storm. Once they settled down, they got right back to what got them this lead. Really good half-court defense. They're getting back in transition, and Monte Morris and Jeremy Grant stepping up to help Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic.
What a third quarter for Jeremy Grant, who has 12 of his 21 in the third. Denver puts up a 30 spot in the quarter, and after 3, it's the Nuggets 93, the Lakers 75. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for a table at a restaurant.
Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, party of 4.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for a table at a restaurant.
Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, party of 4. Thompson, oh, there you are.
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
It's time for some straight talk. Here's a wireless equation to wrap your brain around. Big carriers plus fancy phone offers plus pricey contracts equals fail. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless and get a new phone payment plan with no fees, no contracts, and no deposits. For great Samsung phones starting at less than $7 a month. All on America's largest and most dependable networks for up to 50% less. Turn that brain power into money-saving power. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
Denver 93, Lakers 75. Before we head to the fourth quarter, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed. Mark Kestisher alongside Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo, our entire ESPN radio crew. And Doris, Denver righted itself in the third quarter after seeing that large lead dissipate down to 5, led by Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, and Jeremy Grant is just the athlete they need, right? A little bit different look at the 5. I don't think he's been at the 5 spot since February. But, boy, you pull the lever right there by Michael Malone. Nicely done.
A playoff career high 21 for Jeremy Grant. Here's Rondo exploding to the basket and laying it in to open the fourth quarter. 93-77, Lakers within 16.
Yeah, Jamal Murray raised his hand and said, "My fault." No kidding, it was your fault. He went right by you. Come on, Jamal. You got to step up.
And an offensive foul as Michael Porter Jr. knocks down Alex Caruso out on top of the arc. So a basket and then a Denver turnover, and the Lakers try to dig in.
Kessie, they've had 2 turnovers, 35, 40 feet from the basket where nothing good is happening anyway.
Fourth foul on Porter. Lakers let it roll into the front court. Clock starts as Rondo touches it, gives it to James, gets it back. Rondo to the tip of the circle, out beyond the arc with 15 to shoot. Loops it to James on the left against Murray. Back to Rondo, swings it to the right side. Kuzma, spin move and a floater from 10 short. Kuzma had his hands on it, couldn't hang on. Denver with the ball. Down floor we come on the far left side. Monte Morris, part of an outstanding bench effort for Denver tonight with Porter. Morris bounces it to Grant. They double Grant outside the mid post. Frees the ball, but it ends up in the hands down low to Torrey Craig, who puts it in. 95-77, Denver back up 18. Just over a minute gone by here in the fourth. Rondo calling AD for a high screen. Rondo goes to the right, steps back, launching a triple, around and out. Rebound contested, and Jamal Murray wins it. Murray with his 8th rebound, too shy of a triple-double. Murray on the other end of the floor, flushes hard with a right hand, and Frank Vogel wants a timeout as the Denver Nuggets extend their Game 3 lead to 20.
They have been the aggressor, the assertive team. You're standing back doing nothing defensively if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. How about this to give you a sense of where the Lakers are at? Anthony Davis tonight. How many rebounds do you have, Kesty? 6.
0. And on the other end, Murray with 8 to go with 20 points and 11 assists. Timeout early fourth quarter, 10:36 to go. Denver 97. The Lakers 77. You're listening to the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
From fantasy implications to biting analysis of all the big events of the season, the Roto World Football Podcast is your first pick for going deep and long on what's happening in the NFL. Listen as Josh Norris, John Daigle, Roto Pat, Hayden Wings, and Nick Manzio give their analysis and opinions on everything happening in the league.
I moved him down like 8 spots. I was kind of warming up to David Montgomery just because I thought that the Bears offense was going to be a little bit better than what people were realizing. But, man, I don't want to be messing with a soft tissue groin.
Search Roto World Football on TuneIn to listen.
America's pastime is a big deal, and it's also big business. Baseball Biz is the podcast about the business of baseball, covering everything from MLB history and operations to interviews with players, agents, owners, scouts, umpires, and beyond.
Right now, we're right at 30 games if everybody's been playing all of their toward their 60 and haven't missed any.
Give or take a few games.
Give or take a few games. Exactly. But so
search Baseball Biz in one word on TuneIn to listen.
If you love public radio, you know that there's so much more than one kind of NPR station. While some affiliates focus on news and talk, others specialize in playing some of the most original and refreshing music put on the airwaves. From national flagships like All Songs Considered and Tiny Desk concerts to beloved shows like Morning Becomes Eclectic from KCRW and WXPN's World Cafe. TuneIn has all the incredible stations, shows, and podcasts that make the NPR universe the most exciting place to hear and discover music. Search NPR Music to start listening.
The news that makes history.
You have some breaking news right now because moments ago, the U.S. State Department.
The games that make legends.
Now the Whisker scores! What a shot!
The music and podcasts that make your day better.
From 81.
I've heard tell.
Live in the moment with TuneIn. Stay informed everywhere you go with local, national, and global news channels, including CNN, MSNBC, and Fox News Radio.
Allison, we know tensions between the U.S. and China have been rising over the past months. I can tell you this.
Follow your team's every move all season long. And between the headlines and action, soundtrack your life with music, podcasts, and over 100,000 live radio stations from around the world. News, sports, music, podcasts. Hear it all on TuneIn.
I'm Pat O'Keefe. Celtics back in the Eastern Conference Finals after their Game 3 win over Miami. Time for Straight Talk Wireless Soundbites brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Jimmy Butler, what went wrong in Game 3?
We didn't play hard enough. I think we didn't do anything that we said that we were going to do. We knew how they were going to attack us. We weren't helping each other. We weren't making that extra pass a lot of the times. We weren't playing basketball the way that we have been to win the games that we have been winning.
Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. Heat Celtics Game 4 tomorrow. Coverage begins 8 Eastern. Kesty?
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. And the Denver Nuggets trying to do what the Boston Celtics did in Game 3 of their conference final. Let's get on the board, make it a series. And Doris, right now, the Denver Nuggets with a 20-point lead, still 10:36 to go.
20-point lead and a 17-rebound advantage on the glass. With the size, athleticism, and rebounding ability of the Lakers, that's almost inexcusable.
LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both on the floor with Kuzma, Caruso, and Rondo as they attack the basket to our left. Rondo to AD at the top, leans into a shot, got the whistle, missed the jumper. He got Jeremy Grant. Oh, boy. It was really tight as AD was leaning in.
I'm sorry. We're looking right across the foul line at that one. I don't like that call at all.
He was behind the line, so we'll get 3 free throws here.
Completely agree with you and disagree with the official.
I'm actually wondering if Michael Malone's going to challenge.
So the ball has been handed to Anthony Davis. So Davis will shoot 3, and the first one to our left is good.
So he pump fakes. He gets Jeremy Grant off his feet. But then he leans in as a shooter, and Jeremy did a great job getting his body under control. I didn't think there was any contact unless initiated by AD, but nonetheless gets 2 of 2 to go, Kesty, to start this 3-shot foul.
That's a big call. Clock stops in 3.
Anthony Davis, 8 of 9 at the free throw line. The Lakers, who were 18 of 19 in Game 2, 10 of 16 in Game 3, but Davis buries 3 of them, 97 to 80. Lakers within 17. 10-20 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Jamal Murray, 2 rebounds shy of his first career triple-double. Goes to Porter, in and out on a 3, no good. Rebounded by Rondo. Rondo with his team down 17, gives to James. Trailing 3 is good for LeBron. Lakers back within 14.
That's why that call was such a big call.
Under 10 minutes to play here in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals.
Get the ball to Jamal Murray.
Murray has got 20 points at the top against Caruso. Now goes to his left, stops, 14-footer, yes, 22 for Murray.
That's a tough one-footed shot. He got Caruso on his heels in the middle of the lane and pulls the trigger.
99-83, Denver. James splitting a double. There's the whistle as he threw the basketball toward the basket area with 9:32 to go here in the fourth. LeBron will set up for a pair of free throws.
I don't think so. That should be on the side. That's not. He was not
good
shooting
call.
the ball.
Good call. He was trying to sell it.
Yes, of course. He's standing on a free throw line. Ken Fitzgerald's not buying.
Torrey Craig is second. James receives the inbound pass. On the second team foul of the quarter to Caruso. Hedestein drops it for Kuzma on the baseline cut for the lay-in.
Too easy. That's 8 quick points for the Lakers right there. 3 straight possessions, no stops.
99-85. Denver by 14. Grant, right side three. No. James the rebound. LeBron right up the middle of the floor. Takes Torrey Craig into the lane. Pass to Rondo on the wing. Palms it with a right hand. Now puts it on the deck to the elbow. Nothing doing. Out to AD. Left wing three. Missed everything. Porter's got it for Denver. Porter down floor for Grant. Corrals it. Flips it behind the back to Morris for three. Overshot the rim. Lakers in transition. LeBron to Davis to Kuzma. Back to Davis for the slam. Lakers now down just 12.
So a poor shot is as bad as a turnover. Monte Morris had plenty of time to reset the offense. You got to be smarter than that. Force another quick opportunity in transition, and just like that, the Lakers within 12.
Jeremy Grant and Monte Morris both burped up inappropriate three-point shots. Michael Porter took a quick three-point shot. You got to salt this game away, not let L.A. back in.
10-2 Laker run. They're back in it. Denver 99, Lakers 87 with 8:43 to go in the fourth quarter of Game 3. This is the Western Conference Finals on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, presented by Indeed.
Goodyear believes in the power of moving forward. No matter if it's on the track, the court, or the field, movement makes us want to be more. It pushes us to go further, to show the world what we can do. Movement has the unique ability to change our perspective, to challenge us, to work for a better tomorrow. Movement can even bring us together when we're still. Because if we're focused on the next move, we don't have to worry about what's behind us. Goodyear, more driven.
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your dentist to actually believe you?
And you're flossing every day.
Absolutely.
Great. And you're cutting down on your sweets?
Of course.
Wonderful. Then I don't even need to look in there.
Great. See you in 6 months.
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
You know that sound when a crowd of fans suddenly goes quiet? Your vote is your voice. 39% of eligible voters did not vote in the last presidential election. Raise your voice, sports fans. Visit IamAvoter.com.
The Eastern Conference Finals on ESPN Radio.
Puts up the shot, hangs on the rim, and goes down.
The Celtics broke through with a clutch win in Game 3 against the Heat.
The Boston Celtics get off the mat, go wire to wire against the Miami Heat.
Will they have the momentum to go back-to-back to even the series? Or will Jimmy Butler and the Heat bounce back and put them on the doorstep of elimination? Celtics Heat. Game 4, tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. Presented by Indeed.
I'm Pat O'Keefe with the results of the AutoZone Get in the Zone poll question. 37% of voters thought LeBron James would get in the zone tonight. Not totally wrong. 20 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Lakers still with some work to do. Down by 12 in the fourth quarter. Back to Kesty, PJ, and Doris.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat O'Keefe. And it's 99-87 here. 8:43 to go in the fourth quarter of Game 3. And just when the Nuggets looked like they were solidifying their lead, couple of questionable shots, and now the Lakers right back in it.
Very questionable shots. I know they're having good games, but they're not big-time three-point shooters. And the last thing you want to do is quick shoot three-point shots. They've missed at least 3. Michael Porter, Monte Morris, Jeremy Grant this quarter. Good news is Jokic is back in. The bad news is they've convinced the Lakers the game's not over.
Denver will have it left to right. 8:40 on the clock and moving as Monte Morris gets it across half court. Finds Jokic straddling the three-point line. Passes right side to Porter against James. Takes him in a couple steps. Back to Jokic, now to Murray with 10 to shoot. Murray attacking Caruso. Lost the ball. It's on the deck. Lakers have it 3-on-none. Out ahead to James for the slam. And the Denver lead down to 10.
Excellent defensive possession by the Lakers. They had them outside the three-point line. They quick double and strip Jamal Murray.
First steal of the night for Rajon Rondo to go with 8 points and 6 assists. Denver's lead at 10, 8:13 to go. Trying to get on the board here in the Western Conference Finals, down 2-0. Jokic against James at the elbow. Up top to Grant, drives into AD. Wild pass. Murray can't get it. Another turnover. Numbers for the Lakers, 3-on-1. AD to Rondo went through his hands and out of bounds.
He's got to go to score that. I mean, Rondo is smaller. AD attacked the rim, dunked it on somebody's head. You got all the momentum.
Jokic and the Nuggets still leading 99-89. Murray to Morris up top. Monte drives, 14-footer. Guided in by Porter. They'll wave it off. Offensive basket interference against Michael Porter Jr.
And Michael Malone is looking at his video guy saying, hurry, hurry. Can I challenge this? Because I don't think this is an offensive interference. I think that's a huge call.
Yeah, they just handed it to Rondo. Got it in quickly to LeBron James. Free throw line to AD. Floater good. The lead is down to 8. Lakers on the comeback trail. Denver calls for time.
Well, I think that was a 2-3 zone the last possession, too. When we see the replay, Doris, take a look. It looked to me like the Lakers were in a zone. And again, unfortunately, I hope you're right that it wasn't interference, because if it was, very unfortunate turnover again for Michael Porter Jr.
Looking on the replay, PJ, it looked like the ball had not yet crossed the barrier and it was above the cylinder. Now, I got a good look at it, but we'll see.
It was a very veteran play by Rajon Rondo. He's asking the official, give me the ball, give me the ball. Got it in bounds. We've seen one replay at it. We're keeping it here at TNT, which is broadcasting the game on TV. They're still in break. 7:38 to go in the fourth quarter. Denver 99, Lakers 91, a 14-2 run, including 4 turnovers, 4 big turnovers for the Denver Nuggets here early in the fourth quarter.
And they were aggressive takeaways by the defense, putting aside the offensive interference call against Michael Porter Jr. They just ripped the ball out of Jamal Murray's hand. Both Rajon Rondo and Alex Caruso being much more aggressive with the ball. Jamal Murray not protecting it very well.
Where has this level of aggression and attention to detail been for the Laker defense tonight? All of a sudden, it's hit a different gear.
No question. I hope those 2 calls were right, because the 3 shots for Anthony Davis on the see if you think that this is man-to-man now for sure. 2 calls went against Denver, and it's taken all the wind out of their sails.
Gary Harris drives, sends it to the wing. Porter goes up top to Murray, 10 to shoot. Murray against Rondo before the shot. Bodied Rondo on Murray, so Rajon will get hit with a foul here. That is only the first team foul this quarter against LA.
I don't know if Nikola Jokic has touched the ball other than to get it and make a quick pass. He has not had the ball in his hands through all this turnover fest.
His last bucket, 3 minutes to go in the third, so it's been a bit.
Murray with it, 8 to shoot, 7:15 to go. Rondo slaps it away from him. Ahead to James for the slam. And the run continues for the Lakers, down 6.
Rondo's defensive pressure, once when he's been guarding Murray, once in help, has been excellent.
16-2 Laker run aided by Denver turnovers. But as Doris pointed out, aggressive Laker steals. Here's Jokic. He's got the smaller Rondo. Sends it to Grant baseline where he's doubled. Over to Jokic. A pass to no one in particular. Another Denver turnover. LeBron James has it with 6:40 to go. Feeds Kuzma on the drive. Kicks it a low pass. Received by Caruso. Finds the cutting James. Layup good. 18-2 Laker run. And with 6.5 to go, they're only down 4.
Murray or Jokic needs to steady the ship here. Be patient. Execute.
Denver with 6:20 left. 99-95 lead. They led by as many as 20. Jokic aggressively guarded by AD. Dribbles to the left and another steal. Rondo knocks it away. Rondo 2-on-1. Shovels it to Kuzma. Layup does not fall through, and a late whistle called by Mark Davis out on the far side against Denver with 6:07 to go here in the fourth, but the Nuggets are self-destructing.
Let's see the foul. Kuzma's going to shoot.
Jokic got called for the foul, and Kuzma will shoot 2.
It's one of those plays where it's almost like they're waiting to see if the ball's going to go through the hoop, and if it doesn't, then the whistle.
No, that's definitely what it was. He missed it. Denver had already had the rebound. But it's Jokic and Jamal Murray have had the ball ripped out of their hands by Rajon Rondo or Alex Caruso. Those two have been in the middle of almost every defensive play for the Lakers.
Kuzma hits the first, second one, falls off, no good. Jokic rebounds. Denver's lead was 20. It is down to 3. 6 minutes to go in game 3. Rondo all over Murray, gets rid of it to Jokic. Jokic from the left, one dribble, skips the pass opposite side. Gary Harris up top to Grant. Jeremy the drive, he'll float off the glass and in to end the Laker run. 101-96, Denver with a 5-point lead.
They need stops.
5:40 left here in the fourth quarter. LeBron James handling inside the arc, now backs up on Jeremy Grant. Gets a hard screen for Davis. James had no runway. Jokic picks him up. 5 to shoot. Here's James now driving by Jokic to lay it in. Lakers back within 3.
They're running pick and roll action. They're just trying to get Jokic on LeBron. He goes right by him, PJ.
They can't let him play LeBron like that. They got to send a second man.
28 for LeBron, 101-98. Denver's lead is 3. Jokic double teamed and fouled as Caruso and Rondo aggressively double teamed on that one with 5:12 to go. Only the second team foul on the Lakers. Fouls on Rondo.
Well, Rondo and Caruso have been in the middle of every defensive play. Who's KCP in for?
I think he's in for
Rondo.
Rondo, yes.
Wow.
Rondo with 3 steals, all in the fourth quarter. Jokic has it. Now to Murray with 5 minutes to go in game 3. Murray against Caruso at the top. Can't ward him off. They go to Jokic against KCP. A fading one-legged deep 2, missed everything and hit the backboard, and that's it. Down 3, turnover, Lakers on the other end of the floor. Jamal Murray drives, fouled as he was going across the baseline. He'd gotten underneath the basket. Foul against the Lakers at 4:51 to go will be on Anthony Davis.
Jokic made the play that created the turnover. He got the deflection. I think it was a LeBron James pass. Jokic got his hand in front of it and created the turnover. Rajon Rondo, I think, went right to Frank Vogel and said, "Coach, get me back in here." And he's back in. He was waiting at the scorer's table. He's in for Alex Caruso.
Non-shooting foul off the inbound. Jokic hits the cutting Millsap. Blocked by LeBron James. Ahead it goes to Kuzma. Gary Harris tried to dig it, couldn't. Now Rondo has it, bouncing across to KCP. For the tie, no good on the three-pointer. 4.5 minutes to go. Denver looking for their first win of the Western Conference Finals, and the Lakers bidding on a big comeback as Gary Harris moving in from the left side, a whistle against Los Angeles.
4th team foul, so they'll be in the bonus. Denver on the next common foul. Denver just 3 team fouls as we come down the stretch here.
Jamal Murray's got to want the ball against Rajon Rondo.
That was on Anthony Davis into Millsap, deep left corner. 12 to shoot, 4:20 to go. Denver's lead precarious at 3. Harris catch and shoot triple, no. Rebound tip, Kuzma's got it. Here come the Lakers. LeBron James was 1 on 3. Peels off to the top.
He's going to wait for Anthony Davis.
Davis just walking his way into the front court right now with 4 minutes to go. Lakers once down 20. LeBron, a 3 for the tie, missed it. Going in, trying to get his own rebound, knocked down Gary Harris, but Jokic has it. Ahead to Grant, who slipped and went down. He got fouled. We've had all kinds of slipping here throughout this entire experience in the bubble, and he's fortunate to get up.
Well, the court is slippery. I'm assuming it's because of the humidity outside. The court has been very slippery all the time in the bubble. They have about 6 attendants. Every time the ball goes up to the other end of the floor, people run out with towels and try and mop the floor. But is Jeremy Grant on the free throw line?
It is. Looked like he stepped on the foot of Kuzma, and both of their feet seemed to slip at the same time when I got a quick look at the replay. Jeremy Grant, career high in the postseason, now up to 24 points as he hits the first of 2. Timeout called by the Lakers in between free throws with 3:53 on the clock. Denver 102, Lakers 98. A furious Laker comeback here in the fourth.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Denver's just been coughing the ball up, and it's Jamal Murray who had a couple of the turnovers. Rajon Rondo ripped it out of his hands, as he did to Nikola Jokic. I think more than anything right now, Denver needs a couple of stops where they might be able to get their transition game going, because They are so tentative and back on their heels in the half court right now. You wonder. I mean, it just comes down to somebody getting the ball and trying to launch a shot and hoping the shot goes in. You would think if they can somehow manufacture a stop or a steal, they can get something in transition. Most of the Laker points this quarter are in transition off turnovers by Denver.
Denver with 7 fourth quarter turnovers. Once down 20, trailing 102-98. Denver in front with Jeremy Grant. One more free throw coming here. Game 4 of this series will be Thursday night here on ESPN Radio, 8:30 Eastern Time. Tomorrow night we'll bring you Game 4 in the East. Miami leading Boston 2-1, 8 Eastern Time for pregame coverage on your home for the NBA Finals, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
It's a 21-5 run for the Lakers over the last 6.5 minutes, triggered in large part by the defensive pressure, much of it coming on the perimeter, but you've got the length and athleticism inside, but some opportunities to put points on the board here with Jeremy Grant at the free throw line.
Grant, 8 of 9 at the line, 9 of 10, 25 big points for Jeremy Grant here in Game 3. 5-point Denver lead, 3:53 to go. Rondo picks it up near half court, starting the clock. Will dribble between the rings. Passes left side to LeBron James, who's got another triple-double. 28 points, 10 boards, 10 assists. Loops it into Anthony Davis, mid-post left against Grant. Looking to back him down. 3 dribbles. Explodes to the baseline. Wrap-around pass to the corner. Rondo floats it up. No good. And a whistle against Denver from the far side at 3:33 to go.
That's a frustrating foul.
Who
They
fouled?
They tried to get Anthony Davis isolated in the post. Almost every Denver defender had a foot in the paint. They were in shrink. And then you give up the pass, the baseline drive.
Nikola Jokic with a bad foul. Left his feet, came down on top of Rajon Rondo. He just stands still and puts his hands up. It would have been a really good contest. Really bailed the Lakers out.
You just tip your hat if Rondo makes a floater on the baseline oversized.
Jokic third foul. Rondo hits the first of 2. Trying to make it a 3-point game. Doesn't. Missed it long off the back iron. Rebounded by Grant. 3.5 minutes to go in this third game of the Western Conference Finals. Denver 103, Lakers 99. Murray right side to Harris. Back to Jamal on top. Drives by Caruso. Floater from 14. Pops out. Anthony Davis rebounds.
Best shot they've had in a while, just unable to convert.
LeBron James at the top, crosses left, crosses back right. Fadeaway scissor kick jumper won't roll. Jokic with one big right-hand rebound.
Excellent weak side.
Enormous stop finally for Denver. They needed that badly.
Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Murray and the Nuggets up 4. Bounces it for Jokic, top of the circle. He's got the smaller Rondo to the free throw line, spins, nothing. Outside to Murray with 7 to shoot. Reload Jokic free throw line. Pass in the corner, Harris, baseline drive. And as he was up in the air, he lost it out of bounds. He was looking to pass opposite corner, had nowhere to go. That's 8 turnovers in the quarter.
Why would Nikola Jokic not shoot the ball over Rajon Rondo at the foul line?
2:42 to go. James picks it up in the front. Clock starts. Lakers down 4. Kuzma fakes the 3. Nobody's there. Now shoots the 3. Misses. Millsap rebound.
Boy, uncontested 3. Kyle Kuzma. You got to knock that down.
Jokic hasn't scored since the 3:19 mark of the third quarter.
Jamal Murray dribbling, spinning, stepping back, shoots a 3 and hits. Huge hit for Jamal Murray to put Denver up 7 with 2:10 to go. LeBron James has it for the Lakers. Holding up high on top against Jeremy Grant.
Biggest possession for LA so far.
7-point deficit inside Kuzma. Swings it corner Rondo. 4 to shoot. Rondo. Offensive foul. It's the call against the Lakers.
Somebody's
on
down.
On the spin, he uses the offhand and he gets Millsap, I believe, right in the face. He was out of control on the drive, sort of uses his arm to get his balance. It was Millsap on the close. He puts the right elbow into the face of Millsap, Rondo.
But they did a good job denying LeBron wanted to get the ball to AD on the left side of the floor, and it wasn't available, so they swung it to the weak side. You had players handling the ball that I'm sure Denver was happy were handling the ball, not named James or Davis.
Still plenty of time if you're the Lakers. You got to string together a couple of stops here.
7-point lead, Denver, 106-99, 145 left. Jamal Murray directing traffic from on top. Guarded by James, gets a Millsap screen, switched on to Alex Caruso, drives him toward the lane up in the air, bounce pass underneath Millsap, triple teamed outside to Murray, 6 to shoot. Murray finds Millsap wide open at the 10 for a two-hand slam. 12 assists for Jamal Murray, Denver leading by 9. 90 seconds to go. LeBron James dribbling between the circles, pass to Caruso, tapped out to Rondo. A long, wide open three, no good for Rondo. Rebound Denver, 1:15 left. 108-99 Nuggets. Down 2 games to none.
They should bleed every second out of the 24-second clock this possession.
Jamal Murray standing inside a half court, palming it with a right hand, runs his man through a Jokic screen. Jamal Murray's going to try a 28-foot three, and he buries that one as well. 28 points, 12 assists, 8 rebounds. Denver 111, Lakers 99 with 53 seconds left.
You know, he passed up a three with about a minute and 50 seconds left. I was really surprised he passed it up. He made the drive. But I'll tell you what, PJ, got his confidence back in a matter of 30 seconds. Back-to-back big-time threes.
Look at him doing. Is that a moonwalk going back down court, looking at the Laker bench? Well, he should be proud. You talk about weathering a storm. It wasn't a storm. It was a hurricane the Lakers threw at them, and somehow, some way, the Denver Nuggets righted themselves. They finally got 2 stops when they needed it, and Jamal Murray, the pass he made, Kesty, we wanted to not interrupt as the Lakers were coming up the floor. He got up in the air, and he looked the other way, looked the whole team out toward Jokic, and then he threaded a pass and found Millsap underneath the basket.
And you know what, on that pass, when he gets up in the air, he doesn't feel like hyper-athletic that he can just suspend there. But he finds a way because he's got great body control and great strength. Think about the training he did with his father and the martial arts. All the body control comes into play on a play like that.
10-1 Denver run, and remember, Nikola Jokic hasn't scored since the 3-minute mark to go in the third quarter. 111-99, Denver 53 seconds away from getting a win in the series after dropping the first 2 and barely dropped game 2 on an AD game winner for LA. James on the inbound, gives to Kuzma, hard roll, and 1. Wow, the last thing Denver wanted to do here with 48 seconds to go. A foul, and Kuzma with a chance at a three-point
That's
play.
another mental mistake by Jokic. He's committed 2 atrocious fouls late. Get out of Kuzma's way, let him shoot a layup, and instead he bumps him, and he's going to allow an opportunity for a three-point play. The foul he had on Rondo was a terrible foul on the baseline also.
Free throw good, 3-point play, Kyle Kuzma, 9-point game, Denver leading, 111-102, full court Laker pressure, inbound Gary Harris, and he's fouled by Alex Caruso, is I think just trying to trap him there, got a little too tight, Lakers over the limit, both teams over the limit, they'll walk to the other end for Denver free throws.
The challenge now, first is going to be if the Lakers are able to score and set the press up, they got to get the ball in bounds. Denver's only got 1 timeout left, the Lakers have none. The second challenge is going to be to make free throws. Missing free throws hurt them severely in game 2. Can they close it out now on the line?
Harris, first of 2 is good. It has been a struggle for Gary Harris in this series. He's got 6 points in the ball game. And Jokic has come out of the game for Denver.
The ball handlers in the game, and they want to be able to switch everything.
Lakers without a field goal since the 5:26 mark of the fourth quarter as Harris hits a couple of free throws. 113-102 Denver. 11-point spread with 40 seconds to go. James takes it coast to coast and lays it in. 40 seconds left, 9-point game. Now they're going to play the foul game. Rondo fouls Jeremy Grant with 37.2 left in the game.
like a smaller, quicker team on the floor. They want to switch everything. You don't really want to give up baskets that quickly, but they can switch out now. The three-point shot is the only thing that can really hurt them right now if they make their free throws. Like if they make their free throws, even the three-point shot's not going to hurt them.
Jeremy Grant having a career night for postseason play for him as he misses the first of 2 free throws.
Well, the Lakers tonight, Kesty, just 6 for 25 from 3. Think down the stretch. You had wide open threes for Kuzma and Rondo, and would have made all the difference at the time they missed them.
Grant splits the pair, 10-point Denver lead, 34 seconds to go. Pass to Caruso, quick trigger 3, halfway down, pops out, rebounded by Millsap, 25 seconds to go.
Done fouling, I believe.
It's like they've called it off. Rondo guarding, but now the Denver Nuggets can virtually dribble it out. They'll take a 24-second violation with 8 on the count. Jeremy Grant pinned on the far side. 10 seconds to go in the game, 2 seconds in the possession. There's the turnover on the shot clock. 4.8 seconds to go in the game.
It's only the second time in a game this year where LeBron James has gone for 30 points and the Lakers lost.
Inbound Caruso lays it up with 1.6 to go. Denver inbounds in a game they virtually had to have. The Nuggets get a 28-point, 12-assist, 8-rebound night from Jamal Murray. They're in the series. They defeat the Lakers 114-106. The Lakers lead in the Western Conference Finals, cut to 2-1.
Well, a convincing message to all the naysayers who said the series was over. Denver couldn't come back again. How about looking at it the other way? Denver very easily could be leading 2-1 in this series, and there's no question who deserved to win this game tonight. Doris Burke.
I thought they, from the jump, were the more aggressive, assertive team. Lakers were on their heels. We've asked about that third scorer in support of Jokic and Murray. Well, tonight they had 2. Jeremy Grant, 26 points. Monte Morris with 14.
Who is tonight's more driven player of the game to make it official?
This is a layup.
It is. Now we go to Jamal Murray with 28 points, 4 3-pointers, had a big one with just under a minute to go. A little dagger throw in from Jamal Murray from the left hash. And the Denver Nuggets, who for the first time since Game 3 against the Clippers in the second round did not trail at halftime and then saw a 20-point lead shaved down to 3. It was 101-98 before a huge response, a 10-1 response.
Well, you got to give the Lakers credit that I still go back to that foul call. The foul call that allowed Anthony Davis those 3 free throws, that kind of got him going. Then Rajon Rondo and Alex Caruso just terrorized whichever Denver Nugget had the ball in their hands, just ripping it out of their hands. It's leading to breakaways. And after almost the entire lead going away, somehow, led by Jamal Murray, the Nuggets righted the ship.
Jamal Murray, our more driven player of the game, brought to you by Goodyear, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. And if I had told you that Nikola Jokic would not score in the fourth quarter, that Denver would be able to withstand this Lakers comeback.
No how, no way.
Chance, right?
No chance.
Final score in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals, the Denver Nuggets 114, the Los Angeles Lakers 106. LA still leads the series 2-1. Now for Doris Burke, PJ Carlissimo, our producer, John Medani, our engineer, Bob White. I'm Mark Kestisher. That'll do it from Disney as we send it to Pat O'Keefe in the studio with the postgame show powered by 5 Hour Energy.
Kesty, thanks so much. So we do have a series now. The Nuggets right back in this thing. What else is new? Trailing 2-1 after their 114-106 victory. Denver now 6-3 when trailing in a series in these playoffs. And guess what? In Game 4, they'll come into that game trailing in the series as well. The comeback kids throughout the postseason didn't need a comeback tonight, but they held off a furious comeback attempt in that fourth quarter. The NBA on ESPN Radio is presented by Indeed. Find the high impact hire your business needs at Indeed.com/high impact. Coming up next on the NBA Tonight postgame show, presented by 5 Hour Energy Shots, highlights of Denver's 114-106 Game 3 victory over the Lakers. This is the NBA on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Ready for the inside scoop on the